Hello and welcome to Dateline Lagos on Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Coming up on the program, Governor Sanwo-Olu inaugurates LASBCA permanent office. Oba Benin visits J. Rondell Center for Yoruba Culture and History, and state government holds stakeholders forum on maintenance and safety at Okwaba Lagos homes. The Lagos State Building Control Agency now has a permanent operational base to effectively discharge its statutory mandate of enforcement of building regulations, control and supervision. All thanks to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who inaugurated the 4-story building and asked the agency not to spare any building unidentified as unapproved and lack of building standards.
The Lagos State Building Control Agency is saddled with the responsibility of enforcing building regulations and certification of various stages of construction to prevent building collapse in the state. Since its establishment in 2012, the agency had no operational structure. But now the story is different. LASBCA makes boast of headquarters, a 4-story building at GRA Ikeja built by the administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and he's here alongside some cabinet members to inaugurate the edifice. The general manager of the agency, Bola Honki, gives assurance of more commitments to uphold high standards of construction and compliance to building rules in Lagos.
Mr. Governor, we appreciate you. Without your kind support and first approval, this building will not be standing today. Your creative leadership, positive energy, and your optimal dedication to our dear state never goes unnoticed. You are a leader worth emulating. May I at this junction add that this building is not a matter of show off, but to showcase the skill of the professionals in Lagos State Building Control Agency, who on daily basis carry out their constitutional responsibility in all areas of building construction and ensure safety. With this new office complex, the Lagos State Building Control Agency is equipped to serve the people of Lagos State even more efficiently, as it will serve as a hub of collaboration, innovation, and excellence in building control practice. As it is often said, show me your friend and I'll point out who you are. This building demonstrates our ability as an agent to adequately perform our duty as specified by the law, our commitment to uphold the highest standard of construction and ensure compliance with regulation in further strengthening by the facility. As the going say, to whom much is given, much is expected. And in fulfillment of our enormous expectation arising from the provision of this gigantic edifice, office building, we promise to recommit ourselves to the mission of the agency, which is to create safety, sustainable and resilient building environment for all Lagosians. This is our pledge.
For the Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, the facility will foster sustainable urban planning and development, as well as regulate the building sector.
The completion of this building signifies a dedicated effort to enhance the agency's capabilities in monitoring and regulating building construction activities within our states. Notwithstanding, nothing can be more befitting for an agency of LASBCA's caliber than a functional and respectable working environment. As a major instrument of government for regulating the building construction sector, LASBCA deserves to literally come to equity with clean hands. In line with this vision, our administration, this modern edifice, sitting almost diagonally opposite to a sister agency in the built environment, that's the Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority, LASBCA, is a strong statement that the administration of Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu is ever poised towards accelerating the achievement of making Lagos a 21st century economy pillar of the Teams Plus agenda along the mission of the ministry, making Lagos sustainable, resilient, and attractive to business through community regeneration and inclusive physical planning. By strengthening the capacity of regulatory agencies to perform, this further embodies our determination to create an environment where safety, quality, and adherence to standards are upheld. Lagos State Building Control Agencies plays a pivotal role in promoting compliance with building regulation, safeguarding lives, and preserving the structural integrity of our city. I'm indeed very happy that this project finally comes to reality through the direct supervision of resilient professionals in the ministry and LASBCA. I am proud of the dense hard work that our officers have put for the project to come into fruition. You have reassured us of your capability to midwife a truly sustainable built environment in Lagos State. Without doubt, this development will repose LASBCA and usher in more vibrant and robust services from the agencies for the good people of Lagos State.
It was an opportunity for Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to respond to the controversy surrounding the procurement process of the state.
We saw on social media how government should not behave, how people can indeed politically push all of our attempts to be responsible, to be transparent, to be committed, how people can indeed turn it around. We do not have a problem with anybody, with any individual, and want to acknowledge that one, two, indeed, say that this is the way we should be doing. These are the things we should be. We don't have a problem with it. In fact, we appreciate criticism. We appreciate the fact that people can look at us in the face and say that you need to do well in this place. So we don't have a problem with the originator of an open letter with me. In fact, we like it, and want to thank him. And that's to say that indeed, if it's a government that is transparent and is responsible, we should not shy away from criticism. But it's only when criticism is malicious, is unintended, and begins to misrepresent the truth, that's when there's a problem. And I'm sure that the officers in Lagos State, they've all come out to show that indeed you can make mistakes on some lines of items. I hear that there was a particular one in which an item was meant to be 2 million, it was written as 2 billion. Let me say that the website that we created is an Excel sheet website. And so if you know how Excel sheet works sometimes, indeed, if they are not monitoring very well, your numbers can indeed be extrapolated and they can be turned around. And so we are not going to join issues on social media. All we want to do is to continue to serve the people of Lagos, serve it with every iota of strength that we have, with every commitment that we have, and believing that you Lagosians that we're serving, you can truly, truly see the benefit of our service. And I think I just want to make this point and put this to rest. The website will continue to work, we'll continue to put all of our numbers there, and we'll continue to pride ourselves at all times that indeed we can make mistakes, but it's not with any intention for us to be unmindful of what public good is, and continuously ensure that the public good is a public asset that will continue to respect and do the best of.
He also asked the Lagos State Building Control Agency not to spare any building that compromises construction and safety guidelines.
In the last couple of years, we have seen incidents of building collapse in one form or the other. And we've been called out, we've been challenged, we've been pushed to the wall. And I said that never again would we allow the agency that is responsible to control all of this development, be put in a place where they cannot discharge their responsibility fully. I'm happy today that indeed LASBCA has continued to raise the bar at ensuring that indeed that work which the Lagosians want you to do, you are doing it without fear, without favor. And that the call out is on you today, because indeed, to whom much is given, much is expected. The only reward for a good work is more work. And people will be calling you out if you don't do the right thing. But I know that given all of you, given the faces that I'm seeing here today, you are committed to always do the right thing, to always ensure that you uphold the integrity and the professional ethics of your calling at all times. That is what will continue to gladden my heart, to you, and will continue to see that indeed we're brothers and sisters together. Let me also use this opportunity to therefore call on Lagosians, everybody in the built environment, especially professionals that are in this industry, to always ensure full and total compliance with all of the relevant laws and regulations guiding the construction activity in Lagos State. As you can see, they are ready, they've been motivated, and they will keep to the rules that we have set for ourselves to be able to live in a sane and serene environment. All the relevant agencies, that includes LASBCA, that includes material testing, Lagos State Safety Commission, and all of the others are under very strict instruction to ensure full implementation of government policies and zero tolerance on anybody that flouts or that are not completely in adherence to these policies. There shall be no sacred cows in our determination and ensuring that all cases of any form of building collapse or construction that doesn't meet the standards are going to be permitted.
Lagos State building control agency building for the use of the staff and for the use of all Lagosians and Romanian to transact business. For the glory of God and the very good. Thank you.
The Lagos State Building Control Agency Greenhouse is an eco-friendly edifice provided by the state government to regulate the building sector and eliminate incidents of building collapse across the state.
The Oba of Benin, Omolobanedo Uku Akwolokpolo Iware II, has commended the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for investing in the J. Randall Center for Yoruba Culture and History, an infrastructure designed to promote culture and tradition in Lagos. Let's see how it went.
J. Randall Center for Yoruba Culture and History, sited in Oniko, Lagos Island, is a major development for African museum experience, which offers true Yoruba culture heritage from the past, present, and into the future. This is one of the laudable projects delivered by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu during his first-term administration. The infrastructure has attracted His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin, Omolobanedo Uku Akwolokpolo Iware II, who is in Lagos to see the facility and the historical features it has to offer.
Center for Yoruba Culture and History. It's got a lot of history, and so this will be the main. Governor
Sanwo-Olu, his deputy, receives the royal guest and his entourage as they move around the center. The center is a place of remembrance and reconnection for Yoruba and African people. The governor speaks about some of the artwork.
So this is like a shell that is opening, into modern culture and modern art. And this thing is supposed to be rolling and moving, right? So it's like a shell, and it's like taking the old history into the new history, and you can see all of the cravings around. We're making technology also a play in the museum. So when you stand on that thing is reacts, and whatever it's doing, it has a sensor that picks it. Okay.
One of those who managed the facility also explains further.
So these places represent the inhabitants of the heaven. For example, that is Oshe Songo. If you look at this is our own piggy bank then this we use to get water. So the inscription of all these things are actually written here for people to read about it. So we've been able to display different masquerade here. This is Belede, the female masquerade. So we call it interactive section because we want people that are coming here to stand there and be able to interact with whatever masquerade that you will stand on that. Yours is Everybody call it Ashoke, but it's not actually Ashoke. It has different names. So the color depicts, and the weight of the material depicts the name they will give it. Then this place is called the marketplace. The idea of this market is to show you the idea of Yoruba market. Yoruba market is not an everyday market. It's just maybe once or twice in a week. And the reason is not far-fetched because the farmer, the hunter, they go into the bush and they bring fresh produce directly to the market. And the same issue that they've demonized is not bad because there's what Yoruba call Inshuari Oja. In the evening, who guides the market is the issue. It's the money of the issue that we are spending. From cowries to coins, from coins it develops to paper, from paper then we have Bitcoin. So this place depicts the marketplace. So if you have seen, Your Majesty will have seen that in Brazil, in Cuba, in Portugal, they celebrate the Yoruba culture. They celebrate Odun Yemoja, Odun Ifa, you know. So the Yoruba culture is very vast and it's being celebrated all over the world. So that is what this particular section depicts.
From Brazil to Portugal to
So here we have,
and you know we have a very strong relationship with Portugal. Historical activity with Portugal, and even Brazil. Benin was the first to recognize Brazil.
Wow. When the museum finally comes up, you will be hearing sound, different music playing, all these places is sound. Then we also have film industry, how Yoruba culture have actually influenced the film. So this screen is meant to showcase some of the film Yoruba personality that has influenced the politics of this great country. So as time goes on, we will have more of those personalities here. Then Your Majesty, this talks about contemporary fashion. We are moving from past to present. So the idea here is that our children have taken our fabrics, they mix with other West African fabrics or other European fabrics, and they develop what is called contemporary fashion. For example, this Abetiaja, this is not the usual style, but they've now made it more modern. Our children don't want to wear Ewa and Buba again, they want to wear something more stylish. So they take our own fabric, the dye and dye, the ashoke, the different laces, and they make it into contemporary fashion. Yeah, so from the past to the present, then to the future. So that's what this museum.
The Oba of Benin also had a feel of the technology aspect in the center.
It's an interactive screen. If I stand on it, it will recognize it. You see? It will recognize it.
I can do this. That's up.
Yari yari! Yari yari!
The J. Randall Center exhibits profound Yoruba knowledge, spirituality and existence, providing a hallowed place for all to experience the unimaginable global treasure and glamour. The Oba of Benin, Amanoba Nido Ukwakolokolo, Iwari II, has no doubt had a wonderful experience visiting the tourist center, which he hopes is sustained for the future generation.
I've enjoyed the tour. I've seen many things, and the guide has been wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And finally on the program, the General Manager of Lagos State Mortgage Board, Mr. Bayowa Forsyth, has appealed to allottees of Okwaba Lagos homes to embrace peaceful coexistence and ensure prompt payment of their service charge and insurance. He was speaking at the Stakeholders Forum at Okwaba Agege Lagos Home Scheme. Take a look.
Okwaba Lagos Homes is one of the affordable housing schemes provided by the Lagos State government to reduce the deficit in the state. Since 2016, allottees have taken over these units in the Agege area of Lagos mainland. 7 years down the line, the Lagos State Mortgage Board is engaging homeowners on maintenance and safety, as well as peaceful coexistence among themselves.
Okwaba scheme has been running on autopilot. And I don't want to feel the other way. Now, this is a public space. What we have come to do here is to make sure this scheme runs on autopilot based on the maintenance and the infrastructure of the scheme. Now, had said, I mean, a house divided on itself, you won't benefit anything. We've spoken about electricity here. If you are to come up, if you are divided, I mean, if you don't have 2 hours power supply, that will be your own challenge. I want to play neutral here. I want you to take ownership of the estate. You have been in this estate since 2016. It's about almost 10 years now. If you have a constitution, follow the constitution. If you don't have a committee that will bring up the constitution and do whatever you think is right for you. You are all adults. I don't think I should be the one to mitigate. But if you want to come and see me, fine. My doors are open.
Another important issue is prompt payment of insurance. A representative at LASBCA Insurance explains the payment structure.
For everybody that is on the scheme, they send a list to us where we see what their the sum assured is. Then we advise them on what the sum assured will be. Both for from the list, we would know what the sum assured is, and based on the sum assured, we'll be able to work out our own premium, and based on that premium, we advise them to make payment. Then we give them cover for both fire, special peril, and the one I talked about initially, which is the mortgage scheme. So, and then we give them the cover, and then when there is claim, they forward all the claim documents to us through the mortgage board. Then we attend to it, and then we settle the claim, as long as they are all genuine claims.
Safety tips on how to manage fire incidents are also highlighted by the State Fire and Rescue Service.
Don't fuel a working generator. You know, if a generator is working, you ensure you don't fuel it. You know, I told you earlier that 3 things must be present for fire to burn: oxygen, heat, and fuel. You know, the fuel you are turning into the generator, you will only target the liquid content. But fuel has a kind of fume that comes out like gas. If the fume could get to where you have the hot exhaust, and you already have the presence of oxygen, it's going to result to fire. And such kind of fire is always expensive. Why? You just throw away the jerry can. The first splashes at you, and the fire will follow it immediately. Gas cylinders are meant to be installed outside the building. You don't install gas cylinder right in your building. Why? Fire does not start from cylinder. It starts from burner. But the cylinder is more disastrous than the burner. If you have the burner separated from the cylinder, in case of fire, you can quickly go outside and shut the valve. And when the valve is shut, you have cut off the supply of fuel into the burning fire. To attack the remaining part of the fire will not be too difficult. And apart from that, pressurized cylinder is like bomb. If you have it in a building and there is heat in that building, the heat may not necessarily start from the kitchen. It may start from any part of the building. If it rises to a certain degree, the cylinder will rise from the floor and explode like bomb. And that is why at times when you see a building on fire, and after a while, you just hear something like a blast in the building, they have gas cylinder right in that building. So cylinders are meant to be outside where there is good ventilation, and you run your hose to the burner where it's going to serve you. Then apart from that, let us educate children. You know, don't allow children play with matches. Don't allow children play in the kitchen. You know, children, very inquisitive. When you're not around, they want to get to the kitchen, do what mommy does or what daddy does. And before you know it, they turn it off, on, and in some situations, they won't be able to shut appropriately. Before you know it, the contents will be discharged into the atmosphere. At the slightest ignition anywhere, it results to fire.
The chairman of the estate commends the state government for such an initiative.
This is one of the laudable achievements, I could say, for the stakeholders, where the government could also, probably after building, they also come back and get some feedbacks of whatever they are doing or whatever the issues on building. You understand that they can also get back on the issues of building of the estate, and this is one of them. They've come today, they've listened to what are little issues where we can listen to some little issues of probably issue of roofing, issues of decking leakage and all that, and This is also a welcome address where we can also push this back to government and say, whoever who has built this place can also help us in look into these issues.
The General Manager of Lagos Mortgage Board, Bayowa Foresight, says that over 20 schemes have been delivered and assures of more affordable homes next year.
It's something that has started since the year 2014. Now, if I am to look back and see how many schemes that have been touched by the government, we'll be talking about 22 to 23 schemes, part of which, Okoba forms one. And the main point of the issue is that they should make payments as at when due. Because this is a government program which has been subsidized in prices of the houses, subsidized in the interest rate itself. And what it is the government is still building more. When we look at the five divisions of Lagos, now the governor has commissioned 252 units in Badagry, waiting for allocation anytime soon before the first quarter of next year ends. We have 660 units in Odonosa Agbowa that is awaiting allocation, which obviously will come in the year 2024 as well. We have the Sanwo-Olu phase 2. The phase 1 has been allocated. The phase 2 is coming up. It has 444 units. We're expecting that also to dock in the year 2024. So, for want of anything, this has been a very, very successful program, and it's been, embarked upon, and the rigorous drive for it with the governor has been just so enormous.
Leave it. Drop the pin. No, pull and leave. Yeah, you control.
The event was rounded off with a fire drill on how to use the fire blanket and extinguisher in case of any fire outbreak within the estate.
Yes, you make it airtight so that you prevent oxygen completely from penetrating.
And that's the program for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Until next time, remember to please obey all Lagos traffic rules and stay safe. Bye for now.